Hi kids! Today we will learn
About the working of human eye. So let's start. We learned different parts of the eye. Now we will learn how our eyes works. Our eye is a spherical structure. It has a bulging part in the center of its front side, and it's called cornea. It is a thin, shiny, transparent layer, which is convex in shape and covers the round-colored part of the eye, which we call as iris. Light enters the eye through this cornea. The cornea also acts as the protection wall for the front of the eye. Light then passes through a small opening called the pupil, which is present in the center of the iris. Iris controls the amount of light that will enter through the pupil. When there is a bright source of light, iris makes the pupil contract so that less amount of light enters the eye. And when the light is dim, iris makes the pupil expand or dilate so that more amount of light enters the eye. Now, the light hits the lens behind the pupil. The lens is convex in shape and is made up of transparent jelly-like material. And it is this lens that focuses the light onto the retina, where the image is formed. The lens changes shape to adjust for close or distance vision. Ring-shaped ciliary muscles are present around the lens, and these muscles contract or relax to focus varying distant objects.
in case of distant objects, the ciliary muscles relax and the lens becomes thin and more convex. This enables the lens to focus distant objects, and we are able to see distant objects more clearly. And in case of closer objects, the ciliary muscle contracts and lens becomes thick and flat. This enables the lens to focus the near objects on the retina.
Retina. The innermost and third layer is called retina. It is light sensitive, and like the screen of camera, retina is made up of two types of receptor cells, rod cells and cone cells. Rod cells are sensitive to dim light and don't provide us colored vision. So everything is gray or black and white in dim light. And cone cells are sensitive to bright light. It's the cone cells because of which we see colorful things. Now, an inverted and tiny, that is, very small image is formed on the retina of both eyes. And this image is sent by the cells of the retina to the brain through optic nerve. And this optic nerve is present in the central region of the retina, which is called macula. And it's our brain that combines the separate images produced by our eyes and gives us a 3D view. So kids, we learned how do we see or how our eye works. Now let's revise it all. Light enters the eye through the cornea, which is thin layer in front of the iris, the colored round part of the eye. And light then passes through the pupil, and pupil is a small opening in the center of the iris. Iris controls the amount of light that enters the pupil. Iris makes the pupil expand in case of dim light, so that more light enters the eye, and in case of bright light, iris makes the pupil contract so that less amount of light enters the eye. Now the light hits the lens, and lens that focuses the light on the innermost layer of the back surface of the eye, which is called retina. Iris muscles help the lens to focus the image on the retina when an object is at distance. The iris muscles relax and the lens becomes more convex, and it focuses the distant object. And when the object is very near, the ciliary muscle contracts and the lens flattens, because of which it is able to focus the near object on the retina. Now let's talk about retina. We have two types of cells in the retina: cone cells and rod cells.
Cone cells are sensitive to bright light and give us color vision.
And rod cells are for dim light and gives us grayish or black and white vision. And on this retina, a very tiny inverted image is formed. Yes, the inverted image. Cone cells and rod cells sends this image formed on retinas to the brain through optic nerve. And these inverted images formed on the retinas of both the eyes are combined by the brain and interpreted, and we see a 3D view. So kids, we have learned how our eye works. Now go ahead and take a quiz to learn more. Bye-bye. Tootway has thousands of animated videos on math, English, and science to clear the core basics of these subjects.